Welcome to Before the Council, a reading of the Revere City Council agenda for the meeting of Monday, June 3rd, 2019. There are 15 items on the agenda this week. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. with the Committee of the Whole meeting, in which the Committee of the Whole will meet for the purpose of presenting the George V. Colella Academic Achievement Awards and the City of Revere Community Scholarship. At 5:30, we move on to the Zoning Subcommittee meeting, chaired by Councilor Anthony T. Zambuto. He's joined by Councilor Jessica A. Giannino, Councilor Patrick M. Keefe Jr., Councilor Ira Novoselsky, and Councilor Daniel Rizzo. The committee will discuss the following. Pursuant to Council Order 19-109, Emerald Business Enterprises Incorporated, doing business as Roadway Inn, 309 American Legion Highway, Revere, Massachusetts, seeking permission from the Revere City Council to develop a private parking lot consisting of 14 parking spaces on lots 20 and 22 Tuttle Street, Revere, Massachusetts, to serve the applicant's hotel located at 309 American Legion Highway in Revere. At 5:55, we have the Appointments Subcommittee meeting chaired by Councilor Jessica A. Giannino. Also on the subcommittee, Councilor Patrick M. Keefe Jr., Councilor Joanne M. McKenna, Councilor Stephen Morabito, and Councilor John F. Powers. The committee will consider the following appointment. Pursuant to Council Order 19-113, this is regarding the appointment of Lorraine Pereira to the Library Board of Trustees. Please note that in order for an appointment to be confirmed by the full City Council, the appointee must attend the Appointments Subcommittee meeting. At 6 p.m., it's the Revere City Council meeting, which begins with a salute to the flag. Calendar item number 1, the roll call of members, and calendar item number 2, the approval of the journal of the regular meeting of May 20th, 2019. The Zoning Subcommittee report is calendar item number 3, pursuant to Council Order 19-109. This is regarding the Emerald Business Enterprises Incorporated, doing business as Roadway Inn, 309 American Legion Highway, seeking to develop a private parking lot of 14 parking spaces at lots 20 and 22 Tuttle Street in Revere. Calendar item number 4 is the Appointments Subcommittee report. Pursuant to Council Order 19-113, this is regarding the appointment of Lorraine Pereira to the Library Board of Trustees. Communications, calendar item number 5. Pursuant to Council Order 19-126, this is a communication from the mayor relative to the Point of Pines Fire Station feasibility study. Dated May 30th, dear council members, regarding the Alden Mills Point of Pines Fire Station feasibility study, Winter Street Architects will be in attendance on Monday night to answer any general questions, and a detailed presentation will be scheduled for subcommittee at a later date. Regards, Brian M. Arrigo, Mayor. Calendar item number 6. Pursuant to Council Order 19-127, the communication from the City Auditor relative to the revolving funds, Massachusetts Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half. Calendar item number 7, pursuant to Council Order 19-128. This is a communication from the Director of Finance as it relates to a transfer request to the Water Sewer Enterprise Fund from the Water Sewer Enterprise Fund free cash account. Dated May 30th, dear City Councilors, this year the City had to include not only the bonded debt principal and interest payments for the state revolving funds loans, but also absorb increases in the water and sewer assessments from the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority. Please remember that the consent decree that was issued by the Department of Justice is the driving force behind the massive amount of repairs that have been and will continue to be done to the city's water and sewer infrastructure. Further, in order to achieve these rates, I respectfully request a $2 million transfer from the free cash Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund into the Water and Sewer Enterprise account. I respectfully urge the City Council to adopt the transfer request, not only to avoid any deficits in the Water and Sewer Enterprise account, but also to provide monetary relief to all of the ratepayers. Very truly yours, George M. Anzoni, Director of Finance for the City of Revere. Calendar item number 8, pursuant to Council Order 19-129. This is a communication from the mayor relative to the City of Revere operating budget for fiscal year 2020. Dated May 30th, 2019. Dear President Guanasso and ladies and gentlemen of the Council, this letter accompanies the City of Revere operating budget for fiscal year 2020. I am pleased to report that the budget is balanced, responsible, and responsive to the city's needs. The comprehensive budget document includes a detailed budget summary of the Revere Public Schools, a 5-year financial forecast, a capital improvement plan, and detailed budgets for the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund and the Solid Waste Enterprise Fund. I am confident that this budget will assure Revere's continued progress and further solidify the city's financial status. I recommend its adoption. The city's operating budget is driven by many factors that we can control, but also factors that are beyond our control. Proposition 2.5 controls the amount of property taxes we can legally raise to keep the budget balanced. As Revere becomes a more attractive community to residents and businesses, however, new growth represented by new developments in long-dormant areas of our city will generate new revenues that we can reinvest in the city. Toward this end, my administration has worked closely with our community development staff to maximize opportunities for economic development. Developments currently underway and others still in the planning stages will strengthen our community and help us build a vibrant 21st century economy for our great city. Our budget also relies on the overall economic success of the Commonwealth. When the Massachusetts economy is strong, more funds are distributed to these cities and towns. For FY 2020, the city is scheduled to receive $82,355,243 from the Commonwealth, most of which through Chapter 70 funds that go toward education and unrestricted general government aid, UGGA, which can be used for other municipal services. The total increase of revenues from the Commonwealth increased by 5.8% for FY 2020. As the Massachusetts and Revere's own economies thrive, our revenue sources grow. The proposed FY 2020 operational budget is $203,390,333, an increase of 5.6% over the FY 2019 budget. A substantial portion of this increase can be attributed to fixed costs, including health insurance and pension obligations, and to the settlement of nearly all collective bargaining agreements for municipal employees, which accounts for 2 years of raises, FY 2019 and FY 2020. This compounding effect causes the personnel side of the budget to increase twice as much as it would in a year where only 1 year's worth of cost of living adjustments is funded. The budget also reflects a continued commitment to public safety and public works. Staffing increases will put more uniformed police officers and code enforcement personnel on the streets of our community, helping assure public safety and well-being. Additionally, we provide new necessary equipment for our Department of Public Works that will equip them to address the thousands of work orders generated through our 311 constituent service system. This year's budget includes the expansion of our Parks and Recreation Department to include the opening of a community center in the Garfield School. This multi-generational, multicultural, and inclusive space will be open to all residents and will include access to the gymnasium, auditorium, and swimming pool, while providing space for community meetings, fitness, and classroom activities. Additional staffing will be needed to open the community center, and this is reflected in the FY 2020 budget for Parks and Recreation. The Parking Department also has expanded staff to enforce the city's parking ordinances and to administer citywide resident parking restrictions adopted by the Council in 2019. The Parking Department recently replaced approximately 280 parking meters throughout the city. These new parking meters are powered by solar energy, allowing for transactions by credit card or coin, and give real-time data on its back-end software. We now have the ability to track when meters need to be emptied, the amount of coin and credit card receipts on each meter, and the check and balance on deposits made as they compare to this data. As a result, the city is on pace to collect nearly $150,000 in parking meter revenue for FY 2019. These additional funds will help the city fund a parking benefit district along the Broadway and Shirley Avenue corridors of the city. Once adopted, the parking benefits district will allow us to implement pedestrian safety, beautification, and other initiatives in these locations at no additional cost to the bottom line. The FY 2020 budget also reorganized the Health, Inspectional Services, and Weights and Measures departments. For FY 2020, all municipal inspectors will be budgeted in the Municipal Inspections Department. The sealers of weights and measures, as well as all of the health, building, and sanitary inspectors, are now combined into this department. This will allow for more streamlined operations with the Director of Municipal Inspections to oversee all of the inspectors in the city. Furthermore, with the addition of a general counsel position, we now have in-house counsel to address the day-to-day issues and legal interpretations that arise in the course of code enforcement. The new general counsel will also manage many of the sundry legal matters that would otherwise require hiring outside counsel. The Health Department continues to operate with separate departments for public health initiatives, healthy community initiatives, and substance abuse initiatives. These departments will continue their focus on the areas of public health as they relate to our nurses, our community, and our residents. The proposed FY 2020 school budget has increased by 4.9%, which is largely driven by the increase of the number of students in the district. We continue to work closely with the school department to address the capital needs in our school system with increases in appropriations to address both short-term and long-term capital needs of the district. Included in the FY 2020 budget are two enterprise funds, the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund and the Solid Waste Enterprise Fund. For the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund, I have proposed that the city return $2 million to the ratepayers in order to stabilize water rates. These funds resulted from a surplus in fund balance at the end of FY 2018. It is important that I return a portion of these funds to the ratepayers as water and sewer costs continue to rise as a result of our aging infrastructure and our ongoing capital project system improvements. These system improvements include the replacement of 14,000 water meters throughout the city with digital read capacity and real-time monitoring, vastly improving the city's ability to capture water use cost and identify leaks or wasteful practices. We also address the removal of all lead service lines in the city and continue our efforts to repair and/or replace aging water and sewer infrastructure. Investments in technology and infrastructure are and will continue to be a central focus of my administration. The newly created Solid Waste Enterprise Fund allows for the city to segregate and monitor the business of collecting and disposing the city's solid waste and recyclable materials. The cost of collection and disposal of the city's solid waste and recyclables has risen to over $4 million. It is essentially that we seek out revenues to offset some of this cost while we also examine cost-saving measures. In the fall of 2018, we supplied some 16,000 uniform 65-gallon barrels to households throughout the city for trash, similar to the uniform barrel for recyclables. These uniform barrels, along with a new focus on recycling and proposed ordinance changes with regard to how the city administers its solid waste and recycling operations, will save the community money in the long term while helping keeping the community clean and rodent-free. The budget submitted this year has many features that will help both the council and the community to better understand the financial condition of the city. A comprehensive 5-year financial forecast has been included to help readers understand the city's current and future fiscal challenges. It also helps the city plan for its capital budget, debt service management, and long-term sustainability. You will see that there is now a narrative for both revenues and expenses of the city that give a more comprehensive look at the budget as a whole for FY 2020 and future fiscal years. Furthermore, the inclusion of the city's Capital Improvement Plan, CIP, helps identify the city's future needs. This will help everyone understand the challenges of funding all of the requests in the plan. I am committed to revisiting the CIP each year to ensure that we can address as many of the requests as possible, while being mindful of our debt policies and capacity to manage all of the projects. These important documents have allowed the city to achieve and maintain a bond rating of AA, the highest rating in Revere's history. I intend to build upon this success and continue to build strong reserves, adopt best practice financial policies and procedures, and pursue smart and responsible economic development. This will ensure that when Revere sells municipal bonds, we get the best rates possible. The strong bond rating allows us to make critical investments in the city. For example, the city will soon construct a $23 million public works facility. We will continue to address the conditions of our city's roadways, parks, and infrastructure. We foresee the remodeling or new construction of the Point of Pines Fire Station, for which we recently submitted the results of the feasibility study, which was funded as part of the city's capital improvement plan. Every one of these projects and the eventual but inevitable construction of a new Revere High School will ultimately benefit from the city's strong budgetary flexibility. Our adherence to best practices in our formal financial policies and procedures will help assure Revere's financial standing to obtain the funding for these future projects. The City of Revere continues to expend tireless efforts to manage rising fixed costs, even as demands for services and contractual obligations increase. Producing a balanced budget poses a challenge that can only be met when we take the necessary steps that promote predictability in the budget process and to utilize resources and flexibility to adjust for the unknown and the unforeseen. The documents within this budget include the 5-year financial forecast and comprehensive 5-year CIP, will guide the City of Revere in continuing the trend of providing the best level of services and resources for our residents, businesses, and stakeholders. We look forward to improving upon the great strides we have made, and we welcome the future challenges. As always, please be welcome to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you for your shared commitment to strengthening our city. Regards, Brian M. Arrigo, Mayor. Calendar item number 9. Pursuant to Council Order 19-130, this is a motion presented by Council President Guanasso that the mayor requests the city solicitor and the city planner to draft a zoning ordinance amendment for a moratorium covering a 1-year period relative to the conversion of single to two-family dwellings in all zoning districts in which two-family dwellings are allowed. Calendar item number 10. Pursuant to Council Order 19-131, this is a motion presented by Councilor Patch that the mayor request National Grid to install a street light on an existing pole at number 125 Franklin Street. Calendar item number 11. Pursuant to Council Order 19-132, this is a motion presented by Council President Guanasso that the mayor requests the Traffic Commission to designate and post Revere Street as no heavy trucking. Signage shall be posted at either end and along Revere Street. Calendar item number 12, pursuant to Council Order 19-133. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rizzo that the mayor instruct the Chief of Police to assign police officers at the intersection of North Shore Road and Revere Street to pull traffic in both directions during peak hours and when high traffic flows are identified. Furthermore, the mayor requests information from the Department of Transportation as to the implementation of temporary lighting at the Riverside on North Shore Road. Calendar item number 13, pursuant to Council Order 19-134. Motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the mayor requests the food truck program director to appear before the City Council to discuss parking arrangements with the cadre of food trucks operating in Revere. Calendar item number 14, pursuant to Council Order 19-135. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the City Council award certificates of appreciation to Nick Mulason, Joyce DiNuccio, Jane Rizzo, Debbie West, Sophia Forgione, Pamela Anderson, Eric Lampardecchio, Rose Napolitano, Heather Legere, Kelly Edmonds, and owner of Volare, Chris Salerno, for their efforts in making the Revere Senior Prom a very successful event. Calendar item number 15, pursuant to Council Order 19-136. This is a motion presented by Councilor Rotundo that the mayor request ISD to notify MGH Revere that loading and unloading at 2:14 a.m. is a violation of the city's noise ordinance. And this has been before the council. A reading of the Revere City Council agenda for the meeting of Monday, June 3rd, 2019. I'm Rick Promise, and I'll see you at the council.